What's going on YouTube? So pretty much this is my first playoff game that I managed to check out for all the playoffs games. And it was the Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets. So I just want to to be able to drop videos even when the Clippers got bounced off in the play in against the Pelicans, which was still pretty brutal, but I just want to keep the video going, you know what I mean? So pretty much throughout the first half, it was actually a pretty close game. Like the game was it was just about it was neck to neck. Like the Nuggets were doing their thing. Jokic was just scoring some baskets. Um, Will Barton and Monte Morris made some threes. Like they just did their thing, but it was essentially just Jokic doing the work. And then the Warriors, they were just pretty good. Like in general, especially Jordan Poole, who was up and coming. Big shots at him. He was getting buckets already. Curry, supposedly he plays a six man, that was a really interesting role, but turned out to go well either way because he went off later on. And then the second half, it just went pretty brutal for the Denver Nuggets, which is like, I was rooting for the Warriors in this game just because I have this dislike towards the Denver Nuggets since they beat us in the bubble. So yeah. So Jokic, he was off. He was not really, making much shots and all that. He he managed to get ejected. Like he was 9 for 20 and dropped I think 26 points, which looks good on the stat line, but like Jokic, he was kind of off in the second half, and Clay he just stepped it up. He just stepped it up, and then the Warriors just took over in the blowout. Like the Nuggets, they were not making shots. They were not really making shots. They kind of went cold in general, and the defense was, or I don't know, could you blame the Nuggets defense, or it's just the Warriors offense was just really good. It could be both. It's a bit interesting to say, but anyways, let's go player by player. So for the Golden State Warriors, um, Jordan Poole, up and coming, dropped 29 point, and he was scoring on all levels. He was scoring with layups. He was definitely knocking down threes. He was showing some flashes of mid-range game. He's a really interesting type of player because his ball handling is really good. Like he's really crafty. He's pretty shifty, pretty tough to guard. And defense, I don't really notice any liabilities. I don't see much of the lockdown defense, but he's definitely the Warriors' future. And if I were the Warriors, I would definitely not trade Jordan Poole, no matter what. So that's that. And yeah, Poole's a killer. And honestly, he definitely deserves to be most improved. I know a lot of them were gonna say Ja Morant, which is Ja Morant's a beast as well too, but Ja Morant was always a premier star player. While Jordan Poole, last year he was in a G League, and now he's definitely a premier all star. He's definitely gonna be an all star next season. Hopefully, Jay Scrub can follow that footstep for the Clippers. Hopefully the Clippers keep Jay Scrub. But that's just a side note. I keep going on side notes too much. I need to stop trying to do that. But anyways, so Poole, he went off. Steph Curry, he actually played off the bench, but he still killed it. He dropped 34 points. Definitely got a good amount of assists. Just did everything in general. He was just typical Steph Curry. He was just shooting some long bombs. He was just smooth. He was frying Nikola Jokic. But it's supposed to happen because it's, a point guard versus a center. But yeah, Jokic is not the most mobile guy, so of course he's not the best on the defense. But Curry, yeah, Curry was just BBQing him. He was deep frying the chicken nuggets. All right, Curry was just absolutely murdering him. And then the Warriors also got Andrew Wiggins, who was who was actually pretty good. He actually made a lot of timely threes. He's like he's also kind of like their glue guy as well too. I know Draymond is definitely the certified glue guy, which is Draymond. Didn't do like stat line doesn't look exciting, but Draymond, he's like, pretty good leader, plays great defense, hustles, but like he definitely is trying to get the 3-pointer down, but doesn't really go in, unfortunately for him. But it's alright because the Warriors managed to win the game. And but yeah, going back to Andrew Wiggins, getting some buckets, especially like with the threes. Defense is fairly solid. Like yeah, nothing too special, but shout out to the Warriors for reviving Andrew Wiggins. And then yeah, Bielisa, who was solid, nothing too special, but like when they play with the Warriors, they tend to look better because like their play style is so interesting. Because especially one thing that I would like envy about the Warriors and the Phoenix Suns is their ball movement is just beyond extraordinary. Because ball movement, nothing could defeat really good ball movement. All right, like that's just simple as that. But other players like Gary Payton II, which is shout out to him because look, he definitely did not score much whatsoever, but he had some. He had one highlight play when he blocked Nikola Jokic. Like that dude is pretty good on defense. Like I love his hustle play. Like if I had to give like a little comparison with uh Gary Payton. Yeah, Gary Payton is second. I would compare him to like a point guard version of JaVale McGee because like Gary Payton, he knows his role. He plays great defense. Doesn't do too much. Like he's not like your star player, but like you can't go wrong with having him on your team. Unless if you want some offense. Like unfortunately, Gary Payton would not be the guy. But like you could just play him like 10 minutes. Like he could still make an impact, especially with his like eyebrow raising athleticism, which is hey pretty good for the Warriors. Whether the Warriors keep him or not, like he like Gary Payton would definitely could easily get like a solid role player contract with any other team, and he could definitely fit in with a lot of teams. And then like not really much, no one really prominent. Like I mean Otto Porter Jr. he knocked down like 8-3, but that's about it. Um, but yeah, like that's pretty much the player to player breakdown for the Golden State Warriors. So the player now I'm gonna go to the Nuggets side of it. So Nikola Jokic, of course, being the star player, dropped 26 points. He kind of went a little cold in the second half. Of course, he was Jokic, showed some playmaking. Defense was just, I mean, he's not known to be a defensive player, so of course, nothing too much to expect there. So then they got Will Barton, Monte Morris, solid players, knocked down timely threes, nothing too special. Aaron Gordon, like he definitely did not produce on the offense, but however, could is like somewhat their glue guy if you want to put it that way. And then Boogie Cousins definitely provides some sparks from the bench. Like unfortunately, since Jokic and Boogie are both the same position, like Boogie cannot get much minutes, but Boogie he definitely provided a lot of the juice, especially with floor spacing and post game, post moves in the paint. But yeah, that's essentially like the whole entire Nuggets roster, and also Bones Highland. You know, they're a solid young player. Definitely could get the buckets for sure. Like he had I believe 10 points, knocked 2 field goals down. Just a promising player, which is could be a potential star. But yeah, Nuggets like they just went cold in the second half. They couldn't produce. Like, I mean, it's against the Golden State Warriors team who is like, which would be like a master tactician. Like the Warriors are they're like their IQ just great because they got playmaking and their shooting is just amazing. Oh, I forgot to talk about Klay Thompson. I can't believe I forgot about to talk about Klay Thompson. But Klay Thompson, like he was solid in the first half. Like he showed a lot of other things than just shooting threes, especially like with his mid range game, which is I believe like his game, like at least from what I've seen from Klay, like his mid range game was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like of course I only strictly watched the Clippers, but yeah, like Klay, like a lot of people would just see him as a 3-point shooter, but Klay is not doing other things as well too. But the second half, especially the fourth quarter, Klay just threw that dagger. All right, like all the people who were clowning on Klay Thompson, like they're probably eating their words right now because Klay Thompson in the playoff, he's something else. All right, he's something else. He's a pure nice sniper. Like he just definitely killed it. Absolutely killed it. But then garbage time came. And then Kuminga and other players. Of course, they got a really small sample size, didn't do too much. But the Warriors, they have a really nice, beautiful team-oriented type style. Like especially Kuminga, who's definitely like I mess with Kuminga heavy because really athletic, power forward, just does it all in general. But he's not really making it into rotations, unfortunately for him. And also, like, if the Warriors have James Wiseman, it would have been a little bit more fun because I would like to see a Wiseman versus Jokic, but unfortunately, he was sent to the D League again, or he was hurt, or I don't know, I forgot. But hey, shout out to the Golden State Warriors. They just did their thing. Like, it was actually a pretty good game in the first half, but the second half, they just absolutely killed the Nuggets. So yeah. So shout out to the Warriors. So just let me know what you think about this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll definitely get you on this comment section. And yeah, just have a great night. Cause I don't know how to end my intro now since the Clippers got bounced. So there. So simple as that. Peace.